skip the line. The 10,000 experiments rule and other surprising advice for reaching your goals. James Altucher. Chapter 1. You can do that. There's BC and AC before coronavirus and after coronavirus. When the entire world shut down, everything turned upside down. Tens of millions lost their jobs, lost their careers, and suddenly realized that nobody was loyal to them. When the economy came back, so many people were left unemployed. So many businesses had just disappeared. The institutions we trusted, college, government, whatever support systems we thought we had all either disappeared or changed and let us down. I have to change. I have to find something I can do that I love. I have to get good at it, good enough to make money, enough money so this won't happen to me again. These weren't my words, but everyone's words. Society was reinventing itself. And nobody wanted to be left behind. But how do you find what you love? And how do you get good at it quickly? Is it going to take 10,000 hours? I don't have 10,000 hours. I have to feed my family now. For the first time, the entire world is in the same situation. We all have to figure out what we are going to do next. And how will we do it? And how will we succeed at it? How will we find freedom so that nobody can tell us what to do? How can we master something so we feel the respect of our peers, so we make money, so we can appreciate the nuances of whatever our passion and purpose are? How can we relax enough to enjoy time with our friends, our family, our community? Is it too much to ask? For the first time in the history of the human species, the entire globe came together to focus on a single purpose, dealing with a pandemic. But just as easily as the world came together, it also fell apart. We were left on our own to figure out what we love, how we can get better, how we can help, how we can be safe, how we can thrive. But now what? We have to rebuild an economy that was put on life support, a society that was gripped with fears, and each of us as individuals who needed to learn how to deal with massive amounts of uncertainty. Life wasn't meant for us to live by someone else's playbook. We need to call the plays. Many of us will have to skip the line. The human brain loathes uncertainty. When one of our ancient ancestors was walking by a bush and suddenly the leaves on the bush started to rustle, our paleo grandpa would either assume it was just wind rustling through the leaves, or a lion waiting to pounce and feast. The human was uncertain. So cortisol would spike, triggering a flight instinct, and our ancestor would run away from the perceived danger. The paleo people who did not run are not our ancestors for a reason. 1 in 1,000 times, they got eaten until the people who didn't mind uncertainty no longer existed. We have a fear of uncertainty baked into our genes. The strands of DNA that survived in us, that evolved in us, express that stark naked fear of uncertainty. A modern example of this is the stock market. Often it doesn't matter if the news is bad or good, the stock market will go up. But if the news is uncertain, the market will crash. The stock market is a great barometer of the level of uncertainty in the world. If Apple says, our earnings will be down, the stock of Apple may or may not go up or down. But if Apple says, we don't know what our earnings will be, its stock will certainly crash. But society has evolved faster than humans. We no longer move around in tribes of 30 where we know everyone in the tribe. We no longer move around in larger groups of 150 where, even if we don't know someone intimately, at least we know someone in the group who does. The invention of gossip was incredibly useful in determining if someone was trustworthy enough to go hunting with. And we kept evolving to more complex and disparate organizations. We formed villages, then cities, then city-states, then kingdoms, then empires, then religions wrapping a single belief system around billions of people. Life became complex. As primates, when we are in a tribe of 30, we're in a hierarchy, a line from alpha to omega and everything in between. Every chimpanzee knows exactly where they stand in the hierarchy. The alpha male has benefits, sex with all the females, a place to sleep in the center of the tribe to get the most protection, the pick of the food. But the omega doesn't have it so bad either. The alpha always has to protect his position and fight to maintain it. The omega has less food and has to sleep on the fringes of the group, but he also doesn't have to spend his days and nights fighting to maintain his position. Humans don't have just one tribe, but multiple tribes and multiple hierarchies we can belong to or contend with. Where you stand in the hierarchy, how close you are to the top, determines your pay, your responsibilities, even who your friends are, and your potential to attract a spouse. Titles, rankings, and other trappings of success become the all-important measure of your worth and your potential. Are you the junior system programmer? Or are you a manager, director, VP, senior VP, executive VP, chief operating officer, or chief executive officer? If you are a tennis player, where are you in the rankings? If you are a golfer, what's your handicap? If you write books, how many did you sell? Or what awards have you won? It used to be if you were kicked out of the tribe, you would die. There was no other tribe to go to. You'd have to wander into the jungle and hope for the best, but sooner or later you would be eaten. Obviously the stakes are lower now in the modern world, but our instincts to fit in and stay in line are still intact. When it seems like we are going to lose our status in the tribe, several neurochemicals kick in that cause an enormous amount of stress. Cortisol triggers the fight or flight response. And tachykinin is triggered when we experience or fear isolation. Both are related to our safety within the tribe. Less safety means more of those bad neurochemicals and more stress. Other neurochemicals trigger a greater feeling of happiness, but they are not happy chemicals as we normally think about them. It's not just about our internal happiness. These neurochemicals are specifically related to where we rank in the tribe. Dopamine is triggered when a reward is in sight. When we see food and we are about to get it, dopamine tells our brain that if we get that food, our ranking in the tribe might go higher, so it feels good enough for us to take some risks and climb the tree and get that food. Serotonin is triggered when we have the food, when we have status in the tribe so that we know we will eat and we feel safe. Despite serotonin being a brain chemical, 90% of it is made in the gut. Humans eat better when their rank in the tribe is safe. And oxytocin is triggered when we feel the bonds of friendship and love in the tribe, when we do service for others, when we feel gratitude, when we love someone who loves us back. Again, this inspires us to be the best person we can be because when oxytocin is triggered, yes, we feel happy, but we are also further securing our position in the tribe. So the urge to get in line is strong and deep. But now we don't have just one tribe. We have many. There's our work tribe, our family tribe, the various tribes related to our hobbies. Are we in line for a promotion at work? Does our spouse love us? Are we beating our friends at the golf club? And then when we are kicked out of a tribe, when we lose a job, get divorced, have a bad day of golf at the club, bomb performing stand-up comedy, we feel a sense of panic. An ancient panic. Uncertainty creeps in, which triggers stress. And staring at computer screens all day with a steady stream of bad news, angry emails, and social media skirmishes coming at us only makes it worse. We start to have this low, simmering, never-ending trigger of fight or flight. And it gets worse when the world falls apart, as it seems to do with increasing regularity every decade. September 11th was bad. The 2008 financial crisis threatened the economy of the entire planet. And the coronavirus was. I don't know, it was either going to kill us all or kill the entire economy and bring us to a state of total Mad Max anarchy. Living with uncertainty has become critical to success. During these times of crisis, everyone tunes into the news. They are trying to find some certainty, some piece of information that can help them calm down and say, phew. Okay, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But sometimes that light's not there. Will this crisis mean my job is lost? My career? My hobbies? My routine? We may have to switch tribes if we have to change careers or jobs, or move, or leave our families, or suffer a loss. We may have to start at the bottom of a new hierarchy all over again. How long will it take us to climb back up to where we were before? Why can't we just start at the top? You can't do that. You can't just step into a new tribe and become the alpha. But maybe you can. I've been forced to switch jobs, careers, interests, purpose, and skills so many times I've made it a personal mission to get good at getting good as fast as possible. I didn't want to wait 10,000 hours. But I didn't want to take shortcuts either. There's no way to cheat the system. But there are methods for skipping the line, for achieving what you need to achieve using the techniques that I've painfully had to go through again and again. Every time there's a crisis, either societal or personal, people start talking about the new normal. As if everything that was normal before is now going to completely change. What will that new normal look like? What will happen? The key to skipping the line is to constantly live in the world of not knowing. To constantly be curious but not threatened by what's next. To live in the world where everyone else is scared but you are so comfortable with the land of not knowing that you can still navigate the rough waters. Not only do you navigate these waters, but you become a beacon. It's foggy outside. Many people, some old friends, some new friends, are trying to find their way to shore on this foggy and windy and rainy night. You are the beacon and the lights are on. You help them to shore. This is not the end of the line. This is the beginning.